From the Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Arnab Goswami on The Debate at 10, powered by Berger Paints.
The attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh have not stopped. More and more videos and first-hand accounts are emerging tonight to show how Hindus are being systematically targeted. Hindu temples are being vandalized. Hindu idols are being burnt, destroyed. Hindus have been killed, their bodies dumped in rivers. But there's an absolutely stony silence on these attacks. Nobody, when it comes to the Hindu community being targeted in such a way, nobody's talking about human rights. It's almost as if the Hindus of Bangladesh don't deserve human rights. Here's the latest, and then we debate.
October 17, these were the scenes in Rangpur district of Bangladesh. As per the Bangladesh Hindu Unity Council, Muslim mob set fire to a Hindu village. Several Hindu homes and temples were burnt down. 3 days back, Noakhali witnessed large-scale violence. ISKCON temple was vandalized and one devotee was found dead in a pond nearby.
এখনো পুকুরে ভাসতেছে পুকুরের চারদিকটা উঠো
হাতে পদক্ষেপ না নিলে এরা আর থাকতে ইচ্ছে না বাংলাদেশে হিন্দু করে।
This Durga Puja has been one of the deadliest in Bangladesh, with constant attacks on minorities. There have been 8 attacks in 7 days and at least 5 people reported dead. There is rising anger among the Hindu community. From Noakhali, where minorities hit the streets, to Guwahati.
The way they are butchering Hindus, they are destroying the pandals, they are destroying the Ma Durga Murti. You know, this is too much.
And even Kolkata, where BJP delegation met Bangladeshi Deputy High Commissioner.
ये नहीं चलेगा, ये बंद होना चाहिए। कल रात भी हमारे बंगाल से सटे हुए रंगपुर में 50-60 मछुआरी की शेड्यूल कास्ट हिंदू फैमिली सबको जला दिया।
But the global media has been conspicuously silent on the open butchery of Hindus in Bangladesh. Even communication to the United Nations have gone unanswered.
पूरा इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी जब खड़ा होगा और स्ट्रांगली कंडेम करेगा तब जाके ये हिंसा रुकेगी। यूनाइटेड नेशन को हम लोग ईमेल किए हैं और आज हम लोग बात करने की कोशिश करेंगे। प्रधानमंत्री के आवास में फ़ोन करके बताया गया है।
The Lutyens media has blacked out the biggest global news. The pro-Rohingya brigade is silent on the massacre. Why is the lobby blind to Islamist intolerance and extremism? Let's debate.
Professor Manojit Mandal, Atikur Rahman, Mohammad Asif Hussain Sohail, S.K. Datta, GVL Narasimha Rao. I want to start by introducing Dr. Sonali Das. She is President of the Bangladesh Jatiyo Hindu Mahajot. She's live from Bangladesh tonight. I think she should be on the screen soon. Okay. And I'm also joined by Hasanul Haq Inu, former Minister for Information of the Government of Bangladesh. Mr. Inu, having seen all the details which are with me, the pictures, the evidence on the ground, it is quite obvious that there is an organized attack on the Hindu community. It is an attempt at ethnic cleansing. If not stopped, this will become a genocide. And this is not sudden. This is well planned. Would you agree with me? It's a well planned attempt at eliminating the Hindus of Bangladesh.
Thank you very much, Arnab. I agree with you that the terrorists and the zealots did attack the Hindu temples and puja mandaps. These are well-planned attacks. I agree to that extent. Secondly, it's not a general program by the Muslim community. There is no confusion. Here in Bangladesh, the Muslim community are not in a clash with the Hindu communities or Buddhist communities. They are living peacefully in various villages and towns. Thirdly, the persons who attacked on the plea of using Quran in a puja mandap is a planned, pre-planned conspiracy to attack and create a situation in Bangladesh so that the Bangladesh is destabilized. I will please request you to understand that this puja has 32,000 puja mandaps in Bangladesh. Only maximum 50 spots have been located where the attacks and vandalization did happen. So in that case, I, on behalf of the government, do agree that the local police in these 50 spots, either they failed to stop or they could not avert the situation. But we are sad for that, for the loss of 3 Hindu leaders who have been killed. 3 Muslim persons are also killed by the police. But my understanding is the provocation to incite a riot between the Hindus and Muslim communities has been averted, totally failed, because the Muslim community, neither the Hindu community are against each other. It's a very sad case that in Rangpur last night, certain houses have been burned down. Tomorrow in the morning, I am personally going there to visit and personally look at the situation and take my position there. At the same time, the Speaker of the Parliament is also visiting tomorrow in the same place. Forget about that. My understanding is the attack on the Hindus is actually an attack on the secular democratic government of Sheikh Hasina. Because these terrorists for the last few years has been using the religion card and the Hindu or Buddhist card time and again to create a situation in Bangladesh, to create an beyond constitution an absurd government or irrelevant government. So recently, one of the largest political party, BNP, who are out of power now, headed by the convicted Begum Khaleda Zia, they have floated a proposal suddenly that in the coming 2023 elections, they are not going to participate unless the Sheikh Hasina's government is toppled and the interim government is beyond constitution is formed. So this proposal itself is breeding conspiracy on the ground, and on the other hand, the covert and overt religious fundamentalist zealots, they are time and again attacking not only the Hindu communities, they are attacking the sculptures, the basis of Bangladesh. So in short, I want to say that this Hindu card is being used against the secular government of Hasina, which is trying to handle the situation in a tough matter. My understanding is we are not going for a riot, so there is no question of genocide. And in the meantime, more than 200 persons has been arrested. I hope within few days, the clear picture will emerge who are involved in these attacks, in conspiratorial attacks. So
Yes.
I can rest assured my Indian friends and Bangladeshi friends, both across the border, that Bangladesh will never support a terroristic attack on any religion, be it Hindus or Muslims, or
Mr. Inu.
masjid, monasteries. Yes,
No, Mr.
please.
Mr. Inu, I want to first tell you that
Sure.
I really appreciate, your concern and what you've said. I've been listening to what our reporters are telling us, and when I hear that 20 Hindu houses in a village in Rangpur were set ablaze, right? And some 65 Hindu houses have been burnt, right? And when I hear that the sculpture of ISKCON founder A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada's was burned down or broken by these goons, and 500 strong mob goes and breaks Durga Puja pandals, kills people. I know what you're saying. What you're saying is that it's a political conspiracy against the Sheikh Hasina government. Possibly is. But if there's a political battle between a convicted Khalida Zia and Sheikh Hasina, why should the Hindus of Bangladesh suffer for a GVL? Why should they suffer for it? So I'd like to get the views of GVL Narasimha Rao on what is a very grim situation in Bangladesh indeed.
Let me answer your question in one word. After the killing of the father of the nation, Mujibur Rahman, this military government and its extended form is Bangladesh Nationalist Party headed by Khalida Zia. They are time and again using the religion card, and they are pursuing a policy of non-secularism, and they are trying to create a Taliban state in Bangladesh. So it is a fight between the religious fundamentalists and the secularists. So we belong to the secularist force, and we have won. We have ousted them, and from 2009,
I understand that, Mr. Inu. No, I don't doubt it. But what I'm saying is, we are looking at the immediate. GVL Narasimha Rao is national spokesperson of the BJP. We are looking at our immediate concern is about the Hindus of Bangladesh. Because if they are not safe, Mr. Rao, in Bangladesh, we must just allow them open entry into India now.
I don't think so, Mr. Arnab. I don't think so, because
Arnab.
32
GVL wants to come in, Mr. Inu. Yeah, GVL, go on.
You see, the incidents that have been witnessed in the past few days, they bring back the gory past. I think it only tells you, it once again proves how minority Hindus as minority in Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan have always suffered at the hands of criminal elements and also anti-Hindu elements. I think it's all very well for the government in Bangladesh and their ministers to assure that there is absolutely no divide. But then I think they will have to take quick measures to ensure. They will have to ensure strong action. Can I? When is the minorities? No, I think Arnab, you ask them. Ask this gentleman.
1 minute. I'll take 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 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. I'll take a minute. I'll take a minute. See, GVL. I don't want a rhetorical debate at a time when all the Hindus are being systematically targeted in Bangladesh. Mr. Rao, Atik, if I can be spared the drama. Thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Rao, is it enough for the government to simply enact the Citizenship Amendment Act? Is it not time to give citizenship and asylum to all the persecuted Hindus of Bangladesh? Why are you not removing the 31st December 2014 cutoff date to accord citizenship to all the persecuted Bangladeshi Hindus who are looking to India for relief? I say I say open the doors. Mr. Rao, I say escape. I'm saying open the doors. Open our hearts and open our doors to the Bangladeshi Hindus. Let them not feel. No, let me tell you, Mr. Rao, we have messages received. And so Dr. Sonali Das can tell us, we have messages received from Hindus in Bangladesh. Where will we go? Where will our children live? How long will this continue? How do we know if we are not going to be targeted next?
They certainly know they have a government in Delhi. No, Arnab, they certainly know they have a government in Delhi which is sympathetic to their concerns.
Really?
I think until this government came into office, until this government came into this, until Modi ji came into office, I think this was not even looked at sympathetically.
And in the middle of the screen, I have Dr. Sonali Das. Dr. Sonali Das, President of the Bangladesh Jatiyo Hindu Mahajot.
To live in a...
Dr. Das.
But the question, Arnab, is I want to ask, why is Trinamool Congress silent? Why are political parties in Delhi silent?
Monojit, he makes it political.
Why is the
I had Monojit to respond to that. Why is the Trinamool Congress silent? All right, let me hear it from Monojit.
We should all be condemning.
Frankly, I don't believe condemnations get anything. Action does, but since you asked the question, I'll get Monojit to respond. Monojit, why are you silent? Does it not matter? Why don't you speak up a little bit? That is GVL Narasimha Rao who's asking you that.
Let me speak.
Why is Mamata Banerjee silent?
But the Trinamool Congress and the people of Bengal,
Bengali Hindus in Bangladesh.
Mamata Banerjee, now you remain silent for a while, sir, because you are shouting. That's why you are silent, right? You don't shout. I tell you with full responsibility that Mamata De is in touch with the Prime Minister of Bangladesh.
Louder, please, can't hear.
Privately, of course, because she has got the private connection with the... Can you hear me? Mamata De is very much in touch with the Bangladesh government. She is doing her bit. We don't need to shout about these facts. We are fighting these battles. We are trying to protect the rights of the minorities in Bangladesh, and not just for this month. For many years, you don't know this.
Is it a private matter?
Bangladesh and Bengal are bound by one. I tell you, let me tell you, you don't know about the culture of Bengal. We are bound by one single thread called Bangla language. You will not understand that. Mr. GVA, you will not understand that. We are bound by culture.
No,
we are united by...
Is this a private matter of Mamata Banerjee? Why is she silent?
We are united by language, by culture. You won't understand that because you are a Bengali hater. You are a Bengali hater. You will not understand.
GVL is not going to debate. Follow the debate, please. One minute, GVL respond. Monojit Mandal and Mohammad Asif Hussain Sohail on the right, please. Thank you, Anand. I can't hear SK because we've not cut to him.
Personal matter. Ami Bengali. I understand Bangla very well. I'm a Banglar Chele and I know what is happening. What is Didi talking in private matter? Is she talking about Rohingya? Is she talking about Rohingya? About whom is she talking about? About whom is she talking about? I want to know this. What do you mean by private matter?
You don't understand the plight of the Bengali.
What is she offering in private matter? Rasgulla and Sandeh to Sheikh Hasina ji? What is she offering in private matter? If she has the guts, she should come openly and she should say it in public that enough is enough. This is not going to be tolerated anymore. What do you mean by private matter? Chele khela hocche eta. What do you mean by private matter? This is the
anti-Bengali people, the Bengali hater. BJP is a Bengali hater. Forget about religion. And people of Bangladesh and people of West Bengal, they are united by
the language and Sheikh Hasina ji's house. Tomorrow you'll come to that then.
If this was Mohammad Asif Hussain Sohail, one minute, Mohammad Asif Hussain Sohail from Hyderabad, if this was any other religion that had been targeted in this way,
the people have been trying this
SK, 1 minute. If this was any other religion which had been targeted in this way, the world would have been screaming foul.
You are not the representative of Bengali, Mr. SK.
Monojit, 1 minute. Monojit, a minute. I'm asking Mohammed Asif. Asif,
you know, is
Asif, a minute, please. Let me ask you. Let me ask you now. Here's my question to you, Asif. Asif, 1 minute. Asif, a point which just comes to my mind is that if this was any other religion that was targeted in this way, the world would be screaming foul. But some people believe that because this is a Hindu temple, Hindu devotees, Hindu relics which are being targeted, there are no headlines. And the New York Times ran frantic articles saying decapitated churches in China's heartland. When churches were demolished in China, it was non-stop front page news in the New York Times. When synagogues were demolished in the Gaza Strip, right? Then it was talked about, there were campaigns, there were processions about it. When in Karachi the synagogue land was asked to be returned, 2014, it made global headlines. But when Hindus are targeted, when Hindu temples are burnt, when Hindu devotees are targeted, when Hindu idols are destroyed, desecrated, then there seems to be no outrage. Why, Asif? Why?
Arnab, firstly, I want to strongly condemn the profanation and dishonor of Quran and Prophet will not tolerate, and I strongly condemn the attack on the minorities of Bangladesh or
Hassanul Haq Inu will respond to you on that. 1 minute.
See,
just 1 minute. Asif, 1 minute. Asif, I'm getting you on the debate with, just a minute. Hassanul Haq Inu is there on the debate. You made a statement. Mr. Inu said a little earlier that there was a conspiracy there. A targeted killing and attack on Hindus by claiming what you are talking about. Mr. Inu, can you clarify? Because, he took that as a given. And he almost seems to justify the violence against the Hindu community. Would you like to respond to him to put it in perspective? And Asif, I presume he knows more about the reality than you do. Okay? So if you're going to spread, if Asif, you're going to take this, the Jamaatul Islami kind of line on the program, he'll have to counter you. Mr. Inu, what is the reality? Mr. Inu, what is the reality? Please tell him.
The reality of the ground is that the Muslim community.
We have seen many mosques being demolished. It's very wrong to
Mr.
demolish
Asif is
religious
talking.
places.
Mr. Asif, the former minister from Bangladesh is putting things in perspective for you. Please show the respect and listen to him. Thank you. Mr. Inu, please. Thank you. Mr. Inu, Asif, please allow him to.
I will ask my Indian friends to understand the reality that after the liberation of the country from 1971, the Hindu community and the Muslim community in Bangladesh were never in a confrontation situation, never clashed. After 75, the military government, they tried to induct communal fundamentalist politics into the body politics of the country. Then the trouble started. And at the other side, there is another angle. The religious fundamentalist network in Bangladesh are linked with the Razakars, who were the collaborators of Pakistan during the liberation, and the war criminals who were direct ally of the Pakistan government, and Jamaat Islami is a religious organization who was a direct ally of the Pakistan genocide. So the religious fundamentalists in Bangladesh has a political angle linked with the Pakistani networks. So after 75, these Pakistani networks, backed by other international quarters, this religious fundamentalist community, time and again, they tried to use the religion card to destabilize the situation. But when we, with Sheikh Hasina together in an alliance, took over the country through a fair election in 2009, then the trouble started. We pursued a policy of secularism. We pursued a policy of constitutionalism. And we tried to reinstate communal harmony at all stages. So there the trouble erupted. So for the last 12.5 years, we are confronting these religious fundamentalist covert attacks, not only on Hindu temples, also on Muslim imams and Sufis or religious mazars in Bangladesh. They have been attacked time and again.
This is a, Mr. what you're saying, what you're saying is what you're saying, Mr. what you're saying should be a lesson for people like Atikur Rahman, who knowingly or unknowingly always support these Razakar type elements and the fundamentalist elements in India. Just see what is happening in Bangladesh and learn a lesson. Do you understand, Atik? When I tell you don't support fundamentalists, they threaten the fabric of the country. Look at Bangladesh and learn a lesson. Okay? Now I'm going to go across to Dr. Sonali Das. I finally got the audio line clear with her. Dr. Sonali Das, who represents the Hindu community tonight from Dhaka. Dr. Das, we are very concerned. We would like to know how the Hindu community is feeling. What assurances have you got?
Yes.
What is the sentiment among the Hindu community members and the Hindus in Bangladesh, please?
Yes, Hindu community in Bangladesh, they are very selfless in because coming up of Bangladesh government, our Honorable Prime Minister, she told us very kind to our Hindu society. But this situation, this year and this Puja festival situation in this year is very much horrible situation in our country. I cannot never seen this situation in before. And our government try to take action against these terrorists. In our country, the Javaat Islam and BNP is also created this situation. I think that. But our Prime Minister and others, our Honorable Minister can try to stop those terrorists very soon. And I hope our Prime Minister takes initiative and give the punishment of the terrorists. And they are came from and they are influenced by the Pakistan. And Jamaat Islam also occurred this situation in our country and several times, not only this year, in previously several times happened this event.
Yeah.
And we are suffering and we are suffering several times. Our Hindu society.
Yes, Sonali. SK, I'd like to bring you into the debate with Atikur Rahman, with Mohammad Asif Hussain Sohail. Asif, is this what people meant by saying dismantle global Hindutva? Because think about it, it's a three-pronged process. First you want to demonize Hinduism, then you want to enable the hate, not you, and then people actually on the ground target Hindus. SK, is this what was meant, SK, in your view, by people who started talking about dismantling Hindutva? This kind of intolerance, this kind of violence against Hindus?
Absolutely, Arnab. Absolutely, Arnab. They all think that here Hindus are termites, actually, and they can be crushed like the way they want, as such, and this is a global agenda. This is a global agenda, not only to target the Hindus, but also to target India as such. Because these sinister people, those who have a nexus with the Al-Qaeda, with Lashkar-e-Toiba, as well as with Taliban, they cannot see the growth of India
in Pakistan. Anywhere you can see the atrocity against the minorities.
Bangladesh is a unique case as such.
We can see here in India as well. You see in Kashmir, you can see in UP.
In 1947, the total population of Bangladeshi Hindus were around 28%.
How they are suffering, you can see their pain and cry. It's not that.
No, but Asif, would you agree? GVL, 1 minute. GVL, would you agree, Asif, that the root of the problem is Islamist intolerance? There's no point in sugarcoating it. Islamist intolerance, Islamist terrorism is real, right? Is that not the root cause? Would you at least accept this fact?
See, Arnab, there is no Islamic terrorism.
Islamist. One minute. I didn't say Islamic. Asif, today. Asif, there was a Asif, a minute.
Created by,
Asif, what else do you call the Talibanization of Kabul and the rest of Afghanistan, where the Taliban hang a dead body from a crane parked in the city square under their Islamist rule? British MP David Amis, the stabbing of David Amis has started a whole debate on Islamist radicalism in the United Kingdom, right? 2020 Nice attack in France, right, where people were killed in a knife attack. In one of them, an elderly victim was beheaded, virtually beheaded, right? People like you, Asif, don't need to be in denial, right, GVL? You need to accept it. You need to say this intolerance has crept in, but we will fight it.
Attack on Hinduism, Arnab, is not just an Islamist agenda. There is a political agenda to it. There is an Indian political angle to it. There are political parties in India which thrive on vote bank politics. They are partners in this coalition with the Islamist terror groups.
No religion teaches that. Every religion.
Like which parties?
No, stop this. No, stop giving us these similes. No, this is a coalition, Arnab. This is a coalition between anti-Hindu political forces in India and the Islamist terrorist groups.
Next link.
This is a joint agenda. It's not just a global Islamic agenda.
Monojit, can you, Monojit?
Who called the Bangladeshis termites? Let me expose him. Let me expose this person and BJP stand. Who called the Bangladeshis Hindu termites 2 years back during the parliament elections in Assam? It is Mr. Amit Shah. What are you doing with 12 lakhs Hindu Bengalis suffering in the detention camp of Assam?
Silent?
Are you giving them the citizenship? You call them termites. Now you are shedding crocodile tears. Now you are shedding crocodile tears about these Bangladeshi Hindus.
No,
2 years back, during the parliament election, your president called them termites.
No,
your
but
president called them
I think the TMC spokesperson is clearly cornered.
All right, Monojit, last question tonight. Monojit, in 2017,
Why is Mamata supporting attack on Bengali Hindus? Answer that question. No, why are you in private conversations with Bangladeshi leaders? What agenda? Is Mamata running a private agenda?
Bangladeshi people, whether they are Hindus or Muslim. You hate Bangladeshi people, whether they are Hindus or Muslim. You call them termites.
I think you seem to check your head.
Call them termites.
You seem to, you have to get your head checked.
Did you call them termites?
And anyway,
Mamata Banerjee,
Monojit, in 2017, I'll just wrap by saying this, that in 2017 you were beating the drum about Rohingyas. In 2017 you were beating the drum about Rohingyas. Please carry out a procession on the streets of Kolkata and all across Bengal. The Trinamool Congress should take a lead in protesting against the endless violence against the Hindus of Bangladesh. And if you don't, then people will certainly ask you why.